And so I want to welcome Randy Martina to the stage.
Hey, working good.
Yes, you're great.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so Randy, I have a question for you. Every business has something unique about it. That's why it's in business, because they offer something that the marketplace wants, a product or a service. Why should business owners worry about protecting their uniqueness?
That's the question of the hour, right? So all of us, and I'm a business owner myself, we work so hard to be different, to be, what did someone say? Remarkable, right? Unique. So we might have this amazing product like Palm that we just heard about. We might have this wonderful service like Tuesday that we've been hearing about. We all work to create uniqueness through products, services, content. We've heard a number of our presenters have books, but that content might even be just ebooks or courses or training. It might be brands. The Tuesday brand, do y'all love it? You know it's a registered trademark? Palm I saw was a registered trademark too. So all of these unique things that we're doing, we're working and working and working, and we're budgeting and we're budgeting. But what we don't know is the more value we create, the more popular we become, the more copycats there are. Right? So if you're successful, the guy down the street who isn't making as much is gonna copy. It will happen. And I tell people all the time, protect now, don't wait till it's too late. So that's why it's so important to protect.
So what can business owners do today to get started with protecting themselves?
Yeah, Rebecca and I talked about this, and I know I'm a business owner. I want action. I want to leave today with what to do, not just, some philosophy. So I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to give you stuff you can do right now. You don't even need me. You don't even need an attorney. And we're going to talk about two particular things. One is how to protect yourself, your uniqueness. It's not everything, but it's how to get started. And also things you need to do to protect your business when you're using other people's uniqueness. Okay? So let's start with the first one. The first one is my no trespassing signs. I tell my clients all the time. There are things that you should have, processes. We've heard about optimizing our processes. You and everyone in your organization should be putting copyright markings on every piece of content you create. If you write a blog post, if you send an ebook, whatever you write, a training, videos, anything that's tangible. Hello, Phil. Phil was just copyright registering that training material. Okay. So you want copyright notices on all of your tangible material. Trademarks, well, I talked about Tuesday being trademark registered, but you know what I told them when we talked the first time? Today, before you register your trademarks, your taglines, your logos, you can put either a TM for a goods or an SM for a service mark today. There's your no trespassing sign. You tell everyone else, it's mine, stay away. You can't litigate that with the markings, but you've put your no trespassing sign. So those are some things that you can do today. One last one, I almost forgot, is your websites. We're all digital today. Your websites, your social media should have terms. They should clearly say that this is my content and you can use it for yourself, but by the way, nobody else. Okay? So those are things you can do today when you go home, on your phone right now like Phil was doing, whatever you want. So I want to talk about something else that people forget. This is a digital world. We look on the internet and there are millions, billions of photos, images, content, taglines, words, and we see them and we're like, oh cool, this would make a good social media post. Or we're like, oh, I have this great social media post I just wrote. I need a picture of a puppy dog, whatever it might be. And I'm here to tell you that when you are launching websites, when you are doing anything, whether it's a paper book, an ebook, a video, a training, a PowerPoint, social media posts, you want as much as possible to use your own content. I have a 16-year-old daughter. She's a great photographer. She is my firm's photographer, graphic artist. I would rather use Homegrown, we'll call it, although I consider her professional because she's my daughter. I'd rather use Homegrown than somebody else's. Now, if you're gonna, what if there's just this amazing concept that you really think your clients would benefit from? Get written permission. Because just because something's on a website or something's in a book doesn't mean you can use it for everything. So get permission if you can. Okay, so here's your last to do. And I've been telling, I think I'm like, this is like my new thing of telling people. Go through your Facebook feed. Go through your LinkedIn feed, your Instagram, whatever it is that you have, your website, and look at every single piece of content, every photo, every video, anything that you've shared, and think, do I know who owns it? Do I have permission? And if you don't, delete it. Delete, delete, delete. I've had multiple clients this year alone, all different industries. One was actually an attorney, believe it or not, who received that dreaded notice of litigation, cease and desist. And guess what? I'm not a litigator, so my whole goal in life is to keep people out of court. It's not a pretty sight when you have to explain why that Christmas post with the pretty winter scene was from a photographer you didn't have permission, and now that photographer is suing you. True story, by the way. So there's all your DIYs that you can do right now.
Okay, so Randy, I love that we have some take-home actions, but let's be realistic. There's some things I just can't do for myself. Like, I'm not my own dentist, I'm not my own surgeon. Sometimes you need an expert.
You need me.
So what kinds of things should I not try to do on my own at home? What kind of things do I need to call you for?
Yeah, and this is really important. People think of attorneys as like this high-priced budget item they'll get to later. I can't tell you, I mean, just when I read my Google reviews, just look at mine or any attorney like me. It is so important when you're doing that really key protection, whether it's patenting your invention, trademarking your brand, copywriting your content. You really, really need an expert. I have almost as many clients that come to me after the fact and go, why isn't this working? You know, why did I get rejected? And then I have to tell them that what they did is just not going to work. So really, it's worth the investment. I know we're running low on time, but I want to just give you an analogy. This is a really good analogy that popped in my head just a week or two ago. So some of us buy property, buy a house, right? And what is it that you own when you buy a house? You go into that closing and you're handed a survey. That is what you own. That's that survey, and what that survey says is what you own. Would you ever do your own survey? Maybe. If you would, what about that fence that's really inside the property line that you now put as your property? That's the problem that comes when somebody tries to do certain legal work on their own. You're smart, you're all smart, you're all business owners or in the business, but there are times where it's worth having an expert hold your hand and guide you.
Well, that's awesome. You are the winner for keeping it exactly on time. Thank you so much, Randy.
Thank you.
No, it's five. I think Randy's done.
I got 10.